Welcome. Alrighty, everybody. Good evening. It is our Geek Week review. Again, this is the Reverend.
The Theme here.
And Grey Mouse 1.
I can't get over the Jedi, fucking Jawa, whatever you have on.
Hey, you know what? I just wanted to go ahead and do this, so why not? Okay? I mean, if this was a certain popular movie.
Infomercial, man.
Yeah.
Those blanket snuggie things.
Oh, for like the, what is it, the Snuggies?
Yes!
Oh, God.
You know what? I've spent many a night just sleeping in this thing. The only thing that makes this anywhere near official is this stupid patch. Rebel Alliance patch on it. But, you know, if I was a certain famous somebody that happened to appear in a certain really popular movie that broke all sorts of box office records, you know, the only thing I would probably do is something akin to this.
Hey, it's just enough. That's just enough, isn't it?
What, and charge us $20 million for that?
Oh, dude, I don't know how much he got paid for that. He got paid way much more than I ever will in my life.
Damn, just for that. But
Just for that.
anyway.
Anyways, all right. Once again, it's us three middle-aged dudes messing around, talking about nothing. And this week, we've got actually a lot of big dates going on. Most recently, happy 30th to the Legend of Zelda series, Nintendo's one flagship series. And along with that, another flagship series of Nintendo's, Pokemon hit its 20th anniversary also.
Wow.
I know my experience with both of those is maybe not as deep as some, but quite varied and quite unique, maybe in comparison to most people, for the fact that I worked at Nintendo and I used to answer phones.
Now, wait a minute. Are they going to try to flag our videos because of that? You just mentioned it.
I hope not.
God.
They said the N-word.
Yeah, you know. I mean, it's just one of those things. I have maybe a more unique perspective.
Perception,
Sorry.
maybe?
Yeah. I'm speaking like Yoda here. You know, let me get the fuck out of this thing. It's fucking hot.
And now we got Joe Cool. What the heck, man?
Oh, all right. Much better. Okay. Yeah, so opening the floor, guys, go ahead and give me your thoughts before I start monopolizing the time here.
Legend of Zelda, Gold cartridge. Enough said, really. I'm a big fan of Gold, as many of you may know or may not know. Damn it, watch the rest of my shit on my channel. But look, Legend of Zelda, big-ass adventure game. I mean, for its time, especially for 1986, that was a big freaking world for a console game.
Yep.
It was something that we've never ever seen before. Okay, Pitfall was a big world going from side to side, but no, Legend of Zelda was, you know, going all over the place, going into dungeons, slaying what was in there, taking pieces of this Triforce shit.
Triforce shit.
Yeah. Okay, Zelda fans, we all love the Legend of Zelda. Listen.
Yes, we do.
It was just something that was just groundbreaking for its time, and it stood the test of time. I mean, come on, look at all the sequels. Okay, yeah, we have 3.
We don't mention those. We don't mention those. We don't mention.
That's Legend of Zelda. Okay, that's like Street Fighter the movie counts because it says.
No, it doesn't. No.
Capcom started off on that. All right.
Like, okay, Ocarina of Time, for example. Hey, Ocarina of Time. I watched Grey Mouse beat that game. And I remember sitting there watching you get all the way to Ganondorf and then getting the Ganon when the castle collapsed. and you getting trapped in the midst of flames, and freaking the fairy didn't run away that time. And you were just doing whatever you had to do to slay Ganon. And it was epic. Especially the fucking music. But
oh, yeah. That was most memorable.
Yep.
I mean, the Legend of Zelda series, the whole series, stood the test of time. And they're coming out with one in 2016 on the NX. What should we expect from that?
I think what we're gonna expect first is the HD remake of Twilight Princess. That's gonna come out first. Which I hope that they actually base it off of the GameCube version and not the
Wii version.
Yeah, reason being is that the Wii version. What happened with Twilight Princess for the Wii is that it was used as a way to go ahead and market out motion controls for the Wii. They changed Link from a left-hander to a right-hander, all right, to mirror the majority of people were using the Wiimote.
Yeah.
All right. Now that wasn't really egregious. What was egregious was the fact that it was set to come out for the Game Boy. Not Game Boy, the GameCube.
Oh.
It's set to come out for the GameCube in, I believe, 2005. And then what they did was a month before it decided to go ahead and hit the release date, they were like, you know what? We're going to port it for the Wii. So it's going to have a kick-ass title for the Wii when it launches. And it's going to come out a year later.
I remember your reaction to that, Reverend.
I know. I was waiting for it.
I remember that.
I had it pre-ordered and prepaid, everything. I was like, so you're telling me I got to wait a full year to see, players run around and pretty much jack off with Link. So, yeah, it pissed me off. All right. I'll admit it. Okay. But, the thing with Zelda is great game, lots of history and everything else. I remember for the game guides and everything else, it was called an adventure game. It's an adventure game, folks.
Yes.
No, it's not a fucking RPG.
No, it's not.
Legend of Zelda is not an RPG. Not a role-playing game, okay? Just because it got pointy-eared elves and somebody runs around with a fairy and they swing sticks and swords at each other, no, it's not a fucking RPG.
Some people just got that because of Zelda 2 for the NES, on how that was built, on how the gameplay was, and then they start calling it an RPG.
Well, the first one on the NES was classified as an action-adventure.
Action-adventure,
yeah.
Yes. As it should be.
And the thing was is that the second one was they were kind of just like a lot of number twos with the NES back in those days. They were really experimenting.
Yeah.
Like Castlevania number 2, Simon's Quest is completely different. Well,
Absolutely.
different from Castlevania 1. I mean,
Mario 2, well, technically
it really isn't a Mario game.
Well,
I understand. All right.
But
with Zelda 2, they went to the side-scrolling. And, I mean, it was, I don't know, I have some reserves with it. I didn't quite like it too much. But I still played it, though. I mean, it kept the Zelda formula. You still had to get certain things to go certain areas. And you had to this time you put crystals in these statues to break the curse.
Yeah.
To waken Zelda and fight. Spoilers, fight yourself, the mirror Link.
Spoilers.
And, I don't know. I don't know why I said spoilers, but some people might not have already.
30 years later?
Yeah, 20 years later.
30 years.
Oh,
but
man.
I understand, but...
I know. I just said that. But I want to touch on the Ocarina of Time, like you said. Ocarina of Time was a very important game. Like in my video that I mentioned earlier today, that was a time split. There's 3 timelines in Zelda. It took them about 25 years to finally put a timeline together. So the group of people that did it, the fans mainly, they were called Zelda timeline theorists until until a book came out. I think back in, when was it, Reverend? 2007, something like that.
Which one? Hyrule Historia?
Yeah, the Historia.
Oh, that came out with the Skyward Sword. I think 2012.
Oh, okay. It's even more recent than that.
Yeah, it's even more recent. Well,
Okay.
the reason is that Skyward Sword, if you've ever played it to the end, it makes it pretty obvious that it's actually the very first game in the whole series.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another thing too is like if you watch the game trailers timeline, there's like 3 parts. You can find it on YouTube, and it actually explains a lot. So with the oh god.
Okay.
How dare you?
But like I said,
how dare you?
What happened?
That even as a shameless game geek and video game nerd, that hurt me deeply.
It did. It did. But
the cartoon.
To get back on the track.
Geez.
Get back on track.
Cartoon horrid.
To get back on track. God damn it, guys. Fuck you, Theme. God damn it, dude. Man.
Had to do it. It exists.
The Ocarina of Time was a key game in the whole series because it split the timeline, the dead hero timeline where he failed to kill Ganon at the end of the game, and then the adult timeline and the child timeline. But I recommend y'all guys to watch the game trailers. Just put in Zelda timeline, official timeline. It's a really well-made video.
Well, just to backtrack a little bit, and this kind of segues into kind of like my history with Zelda and how it falls into. Ocarina of Time is really important, actually, to the industry as a whole.
Absolutely.
It was one of those games where it proved that if you had good designers who dedicated a lot of time and a lot of serious effort, then again, we're talking about Shigeru Miyamoto here, no surprise, that you could go ahead and make the transition from a 2D game to a 3D game.
A fully rendered 3D game.
Work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of funny. When Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time came out, I was working at Nintendo. I was doing customer service and tech support over there. What needs tech support over there at Nintendo, you might ask? You'd be surprised. All right. That being said, it's kind of funny because I had like all of the gameplay information and everything in front of me, and when the game released for the Nintendo of America employees a full month and a half before the game came out on the street, I was sitting there, I was playing the shit out of that thing. All right. At work, well, I don't know how Nintendo is set up, the Nintendo call center is set up now, but at the time, what they had was a computer screen with your database and everything, and a TV with an audio-video switch where you can go ahead and plug in different consoles, all right? You could either grab one on loan from them, or you could bring in your own console and you could be playing video games.
And just plug it in?
Yeah, exactly. It was great. So
nice.
Yeah, I remember Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, playing the crap out of it. And one of the things that I really remember, and this always strikes me whenever I go through it, is I remember playing through the Water Temple.
Yeah.
And, I played through the Water Temple without the blue set of armor.
What?
Yeah, it's possible. All right.
Okay, but it's not feasible.
No, I passed it. I played through it without it. I learned how to quick.
It's called a hook shot.
With the hook shot.
Okay. Yeah.
And the lead boot.
I knew it as soon as before you said it. Hook shot.
And the thing about it was that, you'd go in and it would have the countdown, the number of seconds you had before you ran out of air, right? Well, every time you went through a door, it would reset that. So I learned the placement of all the enemies and all the items so well. It was like, okay, I've got 9 seconds to clear out 13 fucking enemies hit these switches in order, and then get through that door. All through it. And lo and behold, I got through it. So luckily, the last boss didn't. The boss of that temple didn't need the blue armor.
The blue armor, right?
Although it would have helped because it would have cut the damage down.
Damage down, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I also had the opportunity to handle gameplay calls with people who are actually calling in on the 900 number. Funny stuff. Believe me, I could go on for a while, but that'd probably eat up all of our time. So, but yeah, Legend of Zelda is a great series. Where Super Mario the Mario series tends to be like a tech demo for each and every new console. Hey, look, this is what this console can do. We're going to put Mario in place, and we're going to show off what it can do.
So expect that at the NX as a launch title, a Mario game.
Most likely. All right.
Mario, you think so?
Yeah, most likely. And then what they do is that they take, Zelda and say, all right, this is the premier experience you can have on this console.
Absolutely.
Right. Which is also one of the reasons why I'm not big on Twilight Sword for the Wii. Excuse me, Twilight Princess.
Right,
for the Wii,
yeah.
For the fact that it was a launch title, and the Wii at the end of its life cycle was a little bit different as far as functionality and everything else went, in comparison to what it was like right when it launched.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and that's common for all consoles, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the mechanics of the games that are made at the launch versus the mechanics of the games that are made towards the end of the generation. It's always like that. And it's very true that Nintendo does that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to touch a little bit on the Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past, a lot of people, myself included, believe that that's one of the best Super Nintendo games that ever, right?
It belongs in anybody's top 10.
It belongs in everybody's top 3.
Maybe even the top 5.
Yeah, at least.
It just really depends on the type of gamer that you are. I totally agree with that.
Super Metroid's in there too. I mean, so that's definitely a contender. Secret of Mana. But anyway, Link to the Past was good. I enjoyed the light world, dark world thing. That you get basically the badge of courage, the badge of power, and the badge of what's the other one? Wisdom. And then you go in, you fight, the wizard, and then they brings you into the dark world where you have to get the 7 sages. But so that game actually had more storyline than 1 and 2 put together.
It did.
You know which one is
the basis.
Well, remember, that was, I think, the first one that actually set a storyline within the game.
Absolutely.
Within the series, I mean.
Well, with Zelda 1 didn't really have a story. I mean, you just went around doing shit. In the game itself, but if you look in the manuals will actually get you up to speed on Zelda 1 and 2.
The coolest thing about The Legend of Zelda is, especially 1 and 2, you told the story. Pretty much.
Well, it was pretty much set up in a way where Link to the Past really introduced things. It was like, okay, we have this narrative and story, this linear story that you follow along. Okay, you're not just the nameless hero dropped onto the map. Go here, there, go there.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And that's where Nintendo really started to go ahead and actually make the series very cinematic and very very narrative, as far as how it played out and everything. I almost all of the games from that point are great in that regards. Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, one of the best even now, as far as the series goes. I mean, a lot of the ones that are on the mobile systems are really great. Some of the multiplayer ones are a little bit hard to appreciate unless you have that many people around with Game Boy Advances and Game Boy connectors.
So you're talking about Four Swords? and
Four Swords.
Swords.
Yeah. I mean, they're a little bit harder to go ahead and appreciate. And the cool thing about Zelda also is that it influenced other developers and other publishers, like the Minish Cap, Oracle of Seasons, and Oracle of Ages are all done by Capcom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean,
which really impressed me, by the way. I was like, whoa, wait, why am I seeing a Capcom logo on there?
I mean, the games are good. If you've ever had a chance to pick them up, absolutely do.
And now, wait a minute. I mean, I don't think that there hasn't been a bad Zelda that was made by Nintendo.
Yeah.
No.
So we could. I mean, there's about a debate as far as which one that you like individually, but you can't say that. Oh, that one just sucks. Not if it was made by Nintendo itself.
Well, people didn't like Skyward Sword and people didn't like Twilight Princess.
But they would play the games, and they'll say, I didn't like it compared to this one.
Yeah.
Say that it just totally sucked and it should just drop off the face of the earth. Really, people don't say that about the Zelda game.
See, there's 3 games that I have not played. I was kind of turned off with the Wind Maker. That's the one with a cell shape.
Cell shading?
I didn't really like that idea, but I will, like I said in my video, I will go back and purchase those games and I will actually play them. The Skyward Sword and the Twilight Princess, I haven't had the opportunity to play it because I don't own a Wii U or a Wii. So that's the only reasons why I haven't played those. So I haven't played the 3. I've played everything else, including the CDI games, unfortunately. Never. No.
Hey, see, you mentioned it. You said
those. And,
that's terrible.
And you said you couldn't get into Wind Waker.
No, you're right. I couldn't. I couldn't get past the graphics.
No, but he's saying that
my level of respect.
Okay, whatever.
What Reverend is saying is, wait, you won't play the Wind Waker, but you gave the CDI games a chance.
A chance.
No. I didn't say that. See, I did catch it.
You played the CDI version.
Yeah, you got me.
So play the Wind Maker.
I did play the Wind Maker for about.
Come on, can't be worse than CDI games. You're gonna have to give that.
But I played the CDI games for like 2 minutes. I mean, it's just terrible.
Longer than you played Wind Maker.
No, I played Wind Maker about 10 minutes. But I just.
What, you just couldn't get into it?
I just couldn't get into it. But from the Reverend and other people that I've heard that actually I'm missing out on a really good game. Because I played Spirit Tracks. I think Spirit Tracks is kind of the same cell shape, right?
No, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. No, both of those. Basically, what they are is that they're the continuation of the Wind Waker storyline.
Correct.
Or the Wind Waker timeline, actually.
Correct.
So,
or the adult Link timeline is what they call it.
Something like that.
Those guys just need to go ballistic once. Mario, go ballistic. Link, go ballistic. Just say fuck it and then just start unleashing their powers and just start blowing up everything in sight. Just once. Just do it. Why do you always get kidnapped? What number is this? Yeah, exactly. And just grab the girl and drag her. Okay, don't drag her, but just
how many castles? How many temples? How many timelines do I have to jump through?
How many times? How many triforces?
Literally, how many timelines do I have to jump through and go through to freaking save your ass?
I played a flute for you. Fucking cunt. A fucking flute. But
man,
I digress.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was just a sidetrack. Them motherfuckers just need to just say fuck it and then just go and oh Lord. But Legend of Zelda, man, 30 years and it stood the test of time. And I hope that the NX version comes out swinging because Nintendo really needs it, in my opinion.
Yep.
Well, the NX version or the Wii U version, Zelda Wii U, I guess that's what they're calling it. It's supposed to be the biggest open world Zelda to date. So I'm kind of very curious. They're saying, I think somebody compared it to like The Witcher or those big RPG type
Really?
worlds. They're saying that it's supposed to be huge. So,
I think that the game should just come out and speak for itself.
Absolutely.
Well, the funny thing is, as far as open world mechanics about, hey, take this map on or take these temples on in whatever order you want, they already did that with A Link Between Worlds.
Absolutely.
If you've ever played that, awesome. All right.
One thing about that game, though, that I didn't like is that you had to, like, borrow your items, you know. I mean, you could buy them eventually, but I didn't really too much like that mechanic, man. I was like, what? I got to pay rupees instead of finding them in dungeons, you know, like normally.
You have to ask permission to use this shit.
Pretty much.
No, here's the thing. If you had to sit
other Nintendo hero,
don't sit there,
don't sugarcoat it.
If you and go out of your way to have to explore through the dungeon in order to get an item, look, the way that every Legend of Zelda setup has gone ever since Link to the Past has always been this: find an item, get into the dungeon. Inside the dungeon, find a new tool or weapon, fight the boss, leave the dungeon, and then rinse and repeat.
Pretty
all
much.
right?
Absolutely.
If you didn't have a way to actually go ahead and grab whatever items you could from the very beginning, and the only way that it really makes sense is to actually buy them, actually rent them out, which wouldn't have been an issue unless you died a lot. Did you die a lot?
That was my next point, is that when you die, no, hear me out. When you die, you lose everything. If it's rented, you have to go back to that shop and re-rent that shit. That's like go to a video game store and like halfway beat it, come back, and no. That analogy is not even good. I can't even come up with an analogy.
No, I mean, the thing was is that the funny thing at it is that if you went through like the challenge temples to go ahead and earn rupees, at the end of the game you've got like
I know
money that
rupees fell from the sky on that game. You're right. Yeah. You're right. It did, but that's not the point. The point is when you're going through a damn dungeon and you die, you got to go back to that shop and pick up your shit. But I had them all bought anyway, so I figured that out pretty quick. But A Link Between Worlds, that's an outstanding 3DS game. Highly recommend picking it up. Absolutely, man.
Yep, indeed. On that thought, since we're almost down to like the last 10 minutes, favorites out of the series.
Favorites?
Yeah, out of the series. I'm not asking you guys to go ahead and rank them 1 to.
I know, whatever, but that's still a hard pick. That's still a hard pick. It's like 3 of them for me are just going to be at the top, and that's 1. That's freaking Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time.
My top 3 are Zelda, the first one, Link to the Past, and Ocarina of Time as well.
Damn.
Okay. I'd have to say my favorites as far as the games go. Maybe I'm being a little contrary. Probably not. Link's Awakening, especially Link's Awakening DX, if you played on the Game Boy Color, awesome. I mean, I loved Link to the Past, but how they managed to actually stuff all of the gameplay that you have available in Link to the Past on a Game Boy cartridge, fucking phenomenal. Not only that, but that particular game is hard as shit in comparison to other Zeldas. All right. Let's see here. Wind Waker. I mean, even if you have the GameCube, if you have the GameCube with the component cables where you sit there and watch it in 480p, it still holds up today as far as the way that it looks. All right. You can't say that much about Ocarina of Time.
That's true.
Yeah, it still looks phenomenal.
Well, I mean, I think what puts Ocarina of Time in my case is the music and just the 3D rendering of the game.
Yeah,
it was just to me. And
I mean, for its time, especially on a Nintendo 64,
No,
when all you had was Mario 64, wrestling games, and then you had Ocarina. Ocarina really set the standard.
It was revolutionary.
Yeah.
To not only the series as a whole, but also to gaming. I won't take that away from it. But when I'm comparing like my favorite ones, it's not the top one. Okay. I have to say that. Let's see here. I got Link's Awakening DX, Wind Waker, and then A Link Between Worlds on the DS.
Wow.
The DS and Game Boy games do get overlooked a lot.
Effing phenomenal. I mean, I have my 3DS, and I've got multiple games. When I first got it, I mean, I got the Link Between Worlds, the Gold Edition one, and it's really hard to actually get me to go ahead and play a game all the way through completion nowadays, especially since I've got life in the way. So it actually being able to sit there and force me to go ahead and crack open and pay attention to my 3DS for the good, I don't know, 30, 40, almost, actually, it was more like 20, 30 hours.
You can't play that on a little bit of a time either. You just can't.
I mean, it even made going through the challenge towers really fun. And I usually don't give a fuck about those things.
I'm actually surprised that you didn't like the Minish Cap. The Minish Cap was I like the mechanic of getting smaller. That was interesting.
I like the Minish Cap. It's kind of funny. When they did the Minish Cap and Capcom went ahead and did that particular art style for Link, that kind of carried over into Wind Waker. All right. The funny thing about Wind Waker is that if you sit there and you play that, and then you play Okami by Capcom, you start to see some really, really direct parallels and influences on each other. And then even more from Okami to Twilight Princess, where Link can change into a wolf, there's even a more direct relation and influence. It's really cool.
Who changed into a wolf better, Sonic or Link?
Oh God.
Okay, that's
according to a certain British reviewer, one of those doesn't need to be brought out to the back of a shed and shot in the head. All right.
Right.
Oh my God.
So the Reverend. Damn, you got 2 Zelda 3DSs.
Yep.
Damn it! I only have 1. But
I have 0.
Yeah.
You don't have a gold? Yeah, that's right. You don't have a gold 3DS.
No. If anything, I would get that golden one for the the new 3DS. I think. Yeah. That's what I want.
The Reverend got it.
Yeah, that's one I want.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, dude. Yeah. I even seen the Zelda of the Game Boy Advance SP.
Yeah.
That was impressive. I was like, I want that, but
good luck finding it.
Oh no.
Good luck finding it.
And when you do find it,
looking, trust me.
When you do find it, you're gonna be spending a lot of rupees.
No.
Yep.
999 rupees.
Boy, am I gonna play the Ocarina and go back in time and just say, I'd rather do that than actually shell out thousands of dollars for it.
I'm pretty sure that when the Zelda Wii U come, they'll probably have a gold edition. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Edition.
Okay, then bring out a gold NX with.
Hey, look! If they break out a gold NX, sign me up. That's it. Sign me up.
Yeah, but it may be all digital because there's no patent for optical disc.
No, here we go. That again, huh?
Something like that.
That's a subject for another time. But
Yep.
Wow, Legend of Zelda.
30 years.
Anniversary Legend of Zelda. Hopefully.
Yes, indeed.
30th anniversary.
30 more, 60 more.
Yep.
Just bring them out and just
bring out another 30 years worth.
Yep. All I got to say is that, hey, it's dangerous to go alone. Bring this. All right.
Yes.
And
Thank
remember
you
to get
very
the white sword on the waterfall and the magic sword in the graveyard. Remember that, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That said, we're going to wrap this first video up. Our recap on Zelda that went a lot longer than we were originally expecting to. Once again, I am the Reverend.
This is the theme here.
And this is the Gray Mouse 1.
Who hasn't played through Wind Waker.
I'm going to read
You've seen that,
it
Gray
as
Mouse.
soon as possible. Believe me. Actually, don't we have a 3DS game for that now? The Wind Waker?
Yes, they do.
That will become mine when I come visit.
Oh, shit.
I didn't even think about
More
that.
money to spend.
That's okay. Tax return, baby.
Alrighty. With that, look for our next video coming up. Subscribe on the bottom. Say hi, comment, like, downvote, whatever. We're here, and we're here every week. All right?
Yes.
Theme closes us out.
Credits.